they have the ball in their hands. Clearance is 12-6, so that's a worry for Carlton. And that leads to 16-7 inside 50s Swans way.
Start of the second term, Rucks go at it. Mumford on the way down did well into the path of Murphy. He was taken high. He'll get the free kick. Mark Murphy hasn't missed a beat since coming back. McLean hasn't missed a beat since going in and pinch hitting. Kick inside the forward 50. After it goes White. Well done. Slings it out looking for Simpson. Stolen by McVeigh. Goes to Grundy. Grundy in the defensive goal square then. Needs to be precise. White was intent on knocking it down in front. The man who was going to be the target runs onto the ball, but then just coughs it up. I'm not sure what happened there. He didn't take a divot. The ball comes across towards Jack. Jack got it from McGlynn in towards half forward, and the mark is held by Goods. Running back deep is Mumford. He ignores that and comes short and finds a leading player in Bird.
And don't the best sides, don't they make you pay if you turn the ball over in your forward half in modern day? Like the very best sides, like they just did then. Errant handball, all of a sudden it's in there attacking 50.
Sounds odd. I think Scotland expected more given the ground as they was going to slide forward. He sort of landed and it almost forced him to sort of reconsider, and the hand pass wasn't good. It was an afterthought. Bird, meantime, comes in and kicks a goal. Something he does with monotonous regularity if you play against Sydney. Nice goal-scoring midfielder.
But number 14, Tim, it's a famous number up in Sydney. Skilton and Paul Kelly obviously thought highly of him.
He's really just he hasn't developed into one of their top line midfielders. They've given him a couple of assignments this year, but he's part of that midfield depth, and as we said pre-game, it's really deep. And there's Carlton's midfield depth. Unfortunately, up there in the coach's box, wouldn't they love to have that bloke out there today?
Just one of many Blues watching on. Hampson, Robinson, Walker, Laidler, Henderson.
No, it's not contestable. Thanks, mate.
A couple back this afternoon, at least something for Brett Ratton.
Bird's actually trying to get to Yaron, so he's trying to play a defensive role on Yaron as a half forward.
The two big men up in the middle. Cruiser knocks it down. McLean tries to run onto it. Jack jumps on top of McLean.
You had it there. You had it. You put it into him. No, I watch him.
Can't turn you back for a minute. I think the emergency umpire, there's umpire Bannister, who played for the Blues, Jordan Bannister. He was the emergency. He's in the action. So somewhere along the line, we've lost one. I hope it wasn't umpire Leopard. I think they're a protected species.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, mate.
He'd know these Carlton players well, wouldn't he, Jordan Bannister?
Cruiser tries to find Murphy underneath it all. McLean tries to find someone else but can't, and Bolton ends up just giving it off to O'Keefe. Now to Smith, and they bring it to the wing. There's a bit of speed running at the ball now. Jetta will get hold of it. Betts behind him, plus Yaron. Have a look at this. Here goes Jetta, one to himself. Really clever stuff. Inside to Goods. 10 out of 10 Swans. Well, that's a man playing with confidence to take on Betts and Yaron. Handball to yourself and then fire the ball like that. Terrific stuff. Now to a hot spot. Pike couldn't take it. McGlynn, he battles. Jamison takes it over.
How impressive were they at half-back with that spread, as we see Jetta, like, once he finds a little bit of space like this, very hard to stop and slow down, but his finish work here was outstanding too, to hit the target.
Cruiser to a bit of space. Well, McLean does well. Onto the left. Buys some time for the moment. Three Swans at the fall of the ball. Richards is one. Gives it off. Jack taken high.
That's what Richards does so well. He reads the game really, really well.
He came flying in, Richards. Forced the issue. He's had a fabulous season, the former Bomber.
Well, he's in All-Australian form. I mean, there's a bit of competition at that part of the ground as well, but he'd have to be highly considered when the selectors sit down at the end of the home and away season.
So just one goal from 4 set shots this year for Kieran Jack. Unloads, long way out. Won't add a goal to that. In fact, won't add anything at all off hands. The Swans, Tim, they've travelled well too. They've won on 6 grounds in 5 different states. They seem to be able to do it everywhere. They just keep getting it done.
Well, when you're the complete team, you can. When you don't have any gaps in your team, you're able to do that. And they're a mature outfit too.
McVeigh cruises through. McGlynn ends up with Kennedy. Little handball wide to the outer side. Parker gets wrapped up, taken to ground. So the Blues will get out of trouble for the moment.
I know there's a lot of concern out there. We're missing umpire Mollison.
What happened?
I don't know that. He's just missing. The ball goes towards the outer side. Off hands. Taken by Betts. Darting eyes. White elected to take it. Perhaps could have knocked it. Johnson did well. Stole the football. Went back to Matner. Up on his toes. Dancing across half back. Sends it down towards half forward. Precision kick. What a beauty. Parker's marked hard against the boundary line.
Play on, play on.
This kid's going to be good. Parker inside the forward 50. Bird will need to go here. Well, he should have spoiled. He tried to mark from behind. Yaron too good.
That's a courageous mark there too by Yaron, just to fill that hole. Good strong mark. This is where they need to actually get some overlap. Carlton breaking off half back here.
That wasn't unrealistic. Simpson was up, taken by Collins, feeds it forward. Rock, wouldn't you know? Held up on him. Now he comes back to Simpson. Deadly with his feet normally. Not many targets to choose. He looks up. He'll kick inside the forward 50. The best he can hope for is a crumb. Betts came storming up, but it was too tall for him. Richards takes it away and sends it to Grundy.
Teddy Richards again, Tim. He's been doing it all year.
Yep. He's the best intercept mark in the competition, Teddy Richards. He just reads the ball so well. But it's the way that they organise themselves defensively too, Sydney. So disciplined.
Waits the ball well to Parker to go back to Richards. And he just meanders through half-back. Casbolt just closes him down, but he's got a heap of friends, and he chooses Shaw, who does what he's been doing for a long time. That's just run with pace and bounce to the wing. He goes. Good's the target. Well done, White in the end. Got a hand onto it. Can he control this one? Gives it off to Armfield. Missed his target. Goods to Malcheski. To Gibbs. Strong tackle. Armfield. Well, McVeigh was great. They play on quickly. Jetta, he's got a few options. Gives it to Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Runs to 30. And he goes for the Swans.
Probably didn't concern you, Tim, but for me, immortals like that, running into an open goal when you've got so much time to think about missing, it's not a good feeling.
No, it's much better when you don't have any time at all and you just do things instinctively. I mean, that was a really good finish.
Don't try to be a man of the people. You never had that. You just kicked goals. But for people like Lewis Roberts-Thompson, he's thinking, wow, I need to kick this, and he just got it in.
What a penalty, too, for Armfield. He goes at the ball. Jetta just ducks out the back. Look at the tackle there. McVeigh tackles Armfield. OK, there's Armfield's direct opponent, Jetta, so he just ducks out the back. All the other boys have done the work. He finds some space, and a good finish there by the big fella.
Well, if they win this afternoon, this round has been very kind for Sydney. Things falling their way. After it goes Bolton. Out of the congestion, Murphy. Tracking it back. A chance here for Parker. Deflects it across towards O'Keefe. Nicely worked again. They're too slick. Smith got it from McVeigh. Inside the centre square, it's Goods. Eyeballs the forward line. Sends it long. Mumford was up. All Carlton at the back, though. Joseph gets back. Steers this one around the boundary line. Gibbs has it. No free man up the ground. I think he might come back to Carranza. Now he decides to pop it over the top to Joseph. So a young man in experience terms to make a decision here. Where will he go? Where Gibbs perhaps could have gone the first time. Gibbs has got it now. Carranza's vacated this pocket. Oops. White drops the mark. Not what they needed. White gets a kick away up towards the wing. Well, the footy barracks for Carlton in the short term, but footies are fickle. Here's a chance for McVeigh trying to get through. Back comes Murphy. Oh, caught that. Oh, well, I'm not sure that Lewis Roberts-Thompson did very much wrong there. He simply saw him coming and turned side on. Well, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in that situation. Oh, he did go past the ball. I take it all back.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like most of the bump went down the shoulder of the arm region, so I think he might be okay there. He's copped a couple of nasty knocks this year, though, hasn't he, Murphy?
Yeah.
So White to Joseph. He's in trouble here. Hanbury. Bit of help from Mumford. Dished it off. Now Chance Johnson measures things up. Not 15. Play on. Hanbury makes them pay.
He's had 10 disposals now. That rising star last season. Something about left footers, Tim. They just look, I don't know, classier, don't they? And he's one of those classy left footers. Not all left footers. There have been some dunderklumpens. But
Who are the Wunderkumpel?
Big Bob wasn't the best kick I've ever seen. He was a left footer.
Andrew Dunkley, was he a left footer?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we can pin that on him.
They are a slick outfit and they're strong and aggressive too. That was almost head on head then.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No, the match review panel will have a look at that, and Murphy got up. He's okay, so I think LRT will be okay too.
So they just keep on keeping on the Swans. They send it out wide. Malcheski onto the loose ball. Garlett throws him away. The ball gets held up. Ferocious underneath it all was Curnow. Frenetic in the end. The ball spills out, and here they go, the Swans. Quickly to space. Who's got the leg speed? Hanbury, bouncing ball, comes onto it. They'll have to hook the ball around Parker and Joseph. And they'll both run at the ball, but I suggest the boundary line will beat them both.
What have you spotted, Kirky?
No, just big concern for Carlton. Carrazzo still hasn't had a disposal. They maybe need to change that match up with O'Keefe, I think, and put him on to someone else, try something new.
I reckon O'Keefe's just running him away from the ball, Kirky.
Yeah, he plays his role. Very much a team-oriented player.
So again, we go at it. Bell runs over the top. Blues will get the free kick. The Swans right now in control of this one. Early in the bout, but the Blues need to find an answer against the side that is having some sort of a season.
When you look at the game, the way it's unfolding at the moment, I mean, that match-up is not going to decide the game, whether or not Carrazzo stops O'Keefe now. They need to actually get Carrazzo around the ball and generate some of their own play. They just haven't had nearly enough disposals to do anything, Carlton.
The Swans, possession again. Little one from Pike, wanted to go back to Kennedy, missed him, and now it's held up on the outer side.
That inside hand passing in tight situations, very good, but when they give it to Mike Pike, they probably want it back. That wasn't the one to finish on, was it?
No, it wasn't. No. See Andrew Carrazzo there, just a little bit unhappy with the way things are going. And look at the disposals there. What a gap there is now. This is where they're really good from the stoppages with their hands. Overlap.
So quickly forward again. Ooh. Goods was the target. Big collision. Spills to Parker. Sweeps the ball. McVeigh sweats on it. Dishes it off to Kennedy on the left. Bouncing ball. Well, it favours Jetta. He had to wait for it. Off the ground. McGlynn touched.
I reckon it shaved Gibbs's chin. Here's the bump here from Goods, just going for the ball. Got nothing to worry about there. Courageous play. Coming back with the flight of the ball.
Timmy, who was the hardest man you ran into? I don't mean the heaviest, but some guys are just like bags of wrought iron, aren't they?
Yep.
Do you remember one? I bet you do. Oh, I bet you don't.
I ran into Lee Matthews one day. He didn't move. I did. Yeah. I rebounded about 5 metres off Lee. He was dense, not in a mental sense.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Some guys just play way over their weight, don't they?
Point post once ran into Lee Matthews and came off second best as well.
Paid the price. That's right.
Look at him run here.
There goes the kick from Jack to midfield, taken by Hanbury. Jack runs on, bursting wide as McGlynn. He'll get this one too. Oh, good mark. I made it sound easy. McGlynn took a terrific one-hander.
This is becoming clinical, though, isn't it? I mean, there's a real worry sign now that this is going to be a massive blowout by the end of the game. If Carlton just can't work their way back and just at least halve some of these contests, they're just playing hang-on, catch-up footy.
So McGlynn, former Hawk, 47 plays 19. This to add to the lead. Not a bad-looking effort. He's got it to go left to right. Unusual, but effective. 53 plays 19, and the route is on. And again, that was beautiful disposal around the outer side. Just a couple of hand passes to release a man, and then the kick out in front of the leading player. And they're very quick. What I like about them too, Tim, is they're very quick to honour a lead, Sydney.
Yeah,
more so than most sides. I watched North Melbourne yesterday, and they fiddle and fiddle. So if you're leading, it's very frustrating for you. But Sydney, if they spot a man on the move, invariably they make it their business to get him the ball.
What they do, they're quite happy to throw the ball around by hand. I mean, they're a very high handball side, but once they get into that space, Dennis, as you rightly say, they create all these sorts of attacking spaces, and more often than not, they've got 2 or 3 options when that player is actually looking to pass the ball.
So 16 minutes since the Blues last scored. 4 goals won to the Swans in that time. Scotland equally good on both sides. Decides to go backwards to Jamison, who searches for options every way, and Simpson's the chosen one. We found Mollison yet, Den?
No, gone.
Quickly over the top, McLean and Matner, terrific.
Going backwards plays into the Swans' hands because they press forward and their pressure's so good.
So Mumford, who was a pretty easy option to come in for Reid. Back to Shaw, now to Smith. Pressure from Betts, that was really good. Now to Carazzo, long ball. Here comes a goal, you'd think. Waite will run in, and he does well. Game 150, welcome back, Jared Waite.
Great tackle there in midfield, but one of the more significant things then just happened, and that was Carazzo's first possession of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's extraordinary to think that we're 3/4 of the way through the second quarter, and Andrew Carazzo has just touched the ball for the first time.
He may get a better disposition now. That didn't look good while he was waiting at the top of the race. He looked a little peeved, didn't he?
He looked frustrated, didn't he?
Yeah.
You can't keep him out of the game, though. Like, he's just a ball magnet, Andrew Carazzo. Here's a great tackle there by Betts. Carazzo picks it up, sees Waite just in so much space there, and such a simple finish.
So Waite, 2 goals, nice in. Mac, or rather Jack, out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward. Carazzo, another touch if you don't mind. And McGuinness, the hurried kick towards the outer side, and the mark is held by Matner.
Carazzo will fight his way back. He's a very good player.
Yep, players who get high stats are tuned in to get them. He'll find the footy. He's given free rein. Here's Waite. That was very good. The interception got a hand to a kick intended for, I think it was Richards.
That's better.
Collins. Leading the man to the footy. Full stretch Scotland. He's about 60 metres out from goal. Simpson offers a lead. Deep is Gibbs. Goes in that direction. Gibbs won't get to the contest though. Fisting away down there. It was well done by Grundy. Hitting the pack hard was Shaw. Gave it across towards O'Keefe in desperate trouble. Could be holding the ball. Carazzo in the action now. Gave it to Garlett. Down goes McVeigh. Picked up by Malcheski. Sends it back towards midfield. Stretching out his Pike, but the ball bounced back over his head. And it's taken out there by Jamison.
Fires it to Cruiser just outside the 50. So probably beyond him, Tim. He'll look for an option. To the top of the square he goes. Casbolt, he's got 3 Swans to beat. They bring it to ground. A chance for Johnson. Running hard at it now. Collins crashed through the pack. Simpson too. Johnson, he sends it out wide. And again the Swans, they answer the Blues challenge. And McGlynn goes to the outer side.
Just hands in the back, ever so slight.
So Pike and Mumford sharing the tall man's duties this afternoon to Malcheski. The long ball, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, Jamison to beat Murphy, lurks out the back. Bolton just approaching game 300. Fires it forward. Tui ricochets off a couple and spills to Scotland. He dances around and then takes the bounce. Doesn't see anything on the broadcast side. Back it goes. Pack of players flying. Malcheski couldn't quite take it. Swung, missed, and then it just goes forward. O'Keefe the target. Jamison is found and he plays on quickly for the Blues.
Jamison, the short one along the boundary. Play on's the call. Gibbs motionless. Now he takes off.
Been a better last 3 minutes of play for Carlton.
Armfield and Murphy. Yep, they realise what's at stake, I think. Collins comes across the ground. It's now or never for the Blues. Curnow runs onto it at the 50. Nice kick. Comes back inside. And Casbolt takes the mark. He's got a goal. He's directly in front.
Here's that tackle. Just watch this tackle again here. Deep in Carlton's forward line. There's a great tackle by... I mean, that is a throw. Very unlucky then Carlton not to get a free kick.
It's the same as the Armfield one, that.
Yep.
So Casbolt should kick a score. For the Blues' sake, it needs to be a goal. You could feel them just elevate their performance in the last few minutes. That's a heartening sign. Casbolt were right behind him. Not his best effort. It swings viciously right to left and goes through for a minor score. Takes one off the margin, which stands at 27. So Carlton off the pace now, but bear in mind the Hawks were on Friday night. Came back to win it only to lose it.
They look a lot more effective when they move the ball quicker. It actually catches the Swans defenders out.
Richards finds Mumford quickly. They go to Burt. He's got a couple chasing to the left, a loose man. It's Bolton. He's just got a couple of runners, and they continue to charge forward. This time O'Keefe. That was to Kennedy, and that was again perfect.
Well, they're one of the best sides in the competition at kick-ins, and that showed you why.
Kennedy spots Goods. Will be made to work here. Chases the loose ball. Smith tries to give a bit of support of one of the two Blues. Cruiser tried to put the pressure on. Goods still had time. Found Jetta. Bit of pressure on Jetta. Coughed it up to Cruiser. And now to Betts. Now to Yaron. Yaron runs into a bit of trouble. Brings it back inboard to McLean, who's got Curnow running. Got to split some Swans. He did well. Scotland. Bolton chased him down. Ball spilt to Carazzo. He just weaves through Swans. Now to Yaron. Can they get one here? Arches his back. Brings it wide to Simpson. Again, the Swans hold them up to McLean through the middle. Curnow. Again, Swans to beat. And they cough it up now. The pressure was relentless, and Richards can rebound.
How easy does that make it for your defenders, though, when they push back into the defensive 50 and they get all that pressure up the field from the midfielders, and then they make them cough the ball up?
They just had no one to kick to. They had no forwards at all at home.
Here's McVeigh. Goes out wide. Mike Pike. Getting better by the game. Big Mike. Canadian. Goes back to Richards. Played rugby union. Not Richards, but Mike Pike. McVeigh. Shaw. Now Grundy's on. We'll use Grundy. Well, he's demanding that Grundy run. He puts it in front of him, and Grundy fumbles instead. Socked away by Simpson. Hand pass comes across from Gibbs, taken by Simpson, goes short to Scotland. Well, that was an interesting kick from your teammate. Would have been easy just to put it to him, but no.
And for the first time, I reckon, this afternoon, the Sydney Swans are actually having to contend with some real pressure coming back the other way. I mean, this is a really good passage of play, or last 5 minutes of play from the Blues. They've really lifted their work rate, and they've actually controlled the ball a little bit better too, having said that.
Tui backs himself, brings it in the Cruiser direction. He's got a few Swans to beat. Well, Mumford will end up, as we approach half-time, sending the Swans forward again. Goods just leads outside of 50. Bolton, he's going to be around the play too. So too O'Keefe. In the end, Jamison got a fist onto it. Simpson happy to see it over.
That's a bit of a win, though. Again, they forced Sydney to kick down the line. And but this is what they're very good at, Sydney, being able to move the ball from a stoppage.
So Brett Ratton contemplates this red and white outfit that's been fabulous all year. Just the 3 losses, with 5 wins from 6 outings against the current top 8. Wins over the Hawks, the Cats, the Eagles, North and Essendon. And the Blues on the agenda this afternoon. Mumford quickly. Well, this might work out okay in the end. Found some space. Hanbury put it to ground. Gibbs couldn't control it. Hanbury made amends. Back to Pike. Pike, he fires and he's offline.
A lot of Carlton players now with hands on hips and just sucking in the deep breaths. You see John Longmire there just trying to explain to some of his line coaches what parts of the game he's not particularly happy with at the moment.
So Tui to bring it in. Finds Scotland. 54 plays 26, approaching half-time.
He's far more relaxed, Johnny, when he used to landscape in the old days, Dennis.
Coaching will do that, won't it?
Ladies used to love him when he used to rip his shirt off during the summertime too.
Did they?
Oh.
Ball on the other side. It's going to be a free kick to Wade. Advantage is taken by the Blues. This is Armfield. Just goes forward. Inside from Murphy. Armfield within range now. Kicks from 35. Oh, that's a beauty. Well, Armfield's got real speed. And it's always a weapon. And he's prepared to use it. Just took off, runners outside, got involved. Boy from Swan Districts. Unheralded, really. Was part of the Chris Judd trade. A couple of players were add-ons at both ends. But he's turned out, I think, better than expected.
It's been a really brave comeback by the Blues. 10 minutes ago, we were talking about this being a blowout of a game, and they lift their work rate. and ranking. You see John Longmire now really frustrated in the coach's box. He's not happy with what he's seeing right now, but Brett Ratton would be delighted with his boys.
Here goes Bell, and here go the Blues again. Long ball, Cruiser, Richards, shoulder to shoulder, off hands Richards, goes back, pressure good from Waite. They might just force the issue here. Waite scrambles after the ball, held up for the moment. Throws the call.
Desperately trying to clear the ball out. He actually took the ball to ground, and he's just trying to get out as quickly as he possibly could. And generally, I mean, the umpires are pretty lenient in those instances, as we've already seen a number of times this afternoon.
So big pack to the outer side, and Lewis Roberts-Thompson, he kicked a couple this afternoon to Parker, and now a foot race. Yaron, you'd back probably against Bird. Bird just corrals Yaron. Bit of confidence, takes him on, runs, and then squeezes the ball. Owlett's hit for Curnow, not too badly. Scotland, just wide. No, just a bouncing ball now. It's got to sit for Yaron. Goods is the man he's got to beat, and that's a tough assignment.
Well, the first kick actually hit its target there. You see the centre half forward in the middle of that picture. Sam Reid, who's out injured at the moment. Alongside him to his, well, the right of screen there is Gary Rowan, who's also recovering from a bad break.
Kennedy's kick was smothered. It ricochets out of bounds. I think Jamieson might have just tweaked his shoulder in that exchange on the outer side in that pack.
Wouldn't be an afternoon at the football if he did.
No.
I think it moves around a bit, that joint.
A bit like Lee Adams. Boundary throw in. Knocked down by Cruiser. In trouble, O'Keefe just let the ball fall. That seems to be what passes for a disposal these days.
Hasn't had a lot of ball, Tommy Bell, but he's a likely type, isn't it? You look at the size of him, he weighs about 96, he's 187. He's now gone to Ryan O'Keefe. They've made that change and they've freed up Karatso, which is a good move.
He's still just 21, Bell, the big Queenslander. Made a bit of an impact. He was forced to be played, and maybe one of those times when you surprised and delighted. Quickly Gibbs to half forward. Richards again intercepts the Blues attack. Quickly dishes it off now to Matner. Matner to the outer side. Johnson couldn't take it. Here's half a chance. Little one over the top. They might be on here. Murphy. He's got McInnes or Garlett, and he goes to the ladder.
Just wonder whether Smith hurt his knee over there. He landed awkwardly. Was it Smith or Johnson?
Johnson.
When he landed, it just looked like his knee gave a little bit.
If they could get this, Tim, they've kicked the last three, and I reckon they'd take a 16-point margin into half-time, given where the game looked like it was going.
It's been a real momentum swing.
So Garlett, that's what he has before him. Listen to the crowd. It started to drift back, but pushed through for one behind. So at half-time, the Blues have narrowed the gap. It is the Swans 8-6-54, the Blues 5-3-33. It's a 21-point lead to the Swans. Brock McLean will join us at half-time. It's Sunday afternoon football.